Hi, I'm Alexi Pukanikin, and we're balling today, tomorrow, and most definitely yesterday. At what cost? Ladies and gentlemen, it's summer 2024. It's week 2024. And everything is just building up to the big moment. Now we're here. I'm dressed up all fancy and shit, like I just came back from Boston from the game 2, the championship, had to go support my boys and shit. I had to fly back real quick just to do the pod and shit. But hey, it's for real. Like, I am not freaking kidding when I'm saying that this is all brewing up together. This is all brewing up, but we're gonna get straight into it. We're gonna start off with something that gives you somewhat of an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so the UFC. First of all, before I get into the UFC too deep about like what happened last week, what's gonna happen, I just want to mention the fact that they have put out like a reality TV show type of like a documentary series type of dealio. I'm forgetting what streaming services it is on, but seriously, I'm telling you, that might just be the most genius way to let people understand, like, at least every single time that I'm going like, well, I mean, like, personally, I think that if this matchup would take place on this date, then it would do this. When I'm saying that show is showing the actual. So when I'm over here talking like a dumbass, going like, well, actually, I think Chris Barnett should be challenging Cyril Gane next for the heavyweight, interim championship. Hunter Campbell, Dana White, those guys, they're actually getting it done. Sean Shelby, those guys. I think just getting that show made is a genius move. Another one of those big brain IQ moves from the UFC, and everyone's actually like having positive reactions from it because it's like, oh, okay, now we get like, this is the real deal. Like, this is how they actually make the fights. Like, literally, this is how they do it. How they made John Jones and Stipe Miocic fight. John Jones just goes like, all right, Hunter, let's go. Let's just bang this out real quick. Let's just make a deal. Okay. Bang, they sit in the back of a car in the parking lot. Bang. They made the fight happen. Everyone's smiling, hands are shaking, hugs are given out. Beautiful. And we move on to what's going to go down, because I imagine once they start releasing the footage of them making the fights that they were making for this summer, I'm telling you, it's going to be next level footage. But with that being said, UFC was in Louisville last weekend. Fantastic. I always love a live audience, right? A passionate live audience. Had some incredible performances. I'm going to run by them real quick. First one was Pooja Tomar, which first Indian lady in the UFC, I think. And she got the split decision win. So, I mean, if she, because there was that other Indian dude like a while back that just got like demolished by, Freedom and America, But this chick went ahead with a Brazilian chick and got the split decision win off the UFC debut. Congratulations to her. I'm sure if she keeps it up, she'll be a big name one day. Next one. This guy's a fucking savage. This Carlos Prates, Brazilian dude, comes in and freaking insane knee to like not even like the mid body, kind of like up here. I swear he cracked some ribs with that knee, but insane knee to the body on an American dude. Freaking just, it's like that guy just crumbled within a second. And then Carlos Prates, when he's, out in the evening of that night, just, chilling, doing what he enjoys, which is smoking a cigarette, because conditioning ain't even a fucking real thing for Brazilian dudes. It's a myth. Conditioning is pretty much just a goddamn myth to these guys. He's taking good old deep inhales of that cigarette, and then his boys are filming, and then all of a sudden, hey, I got the performance of the night. Oh, fantastic. Put the cigarette out. Hey, congratulations. And then go back. Light went up again. So what a legend that guy is. You know that if this guy is at the highest level of a certain sport and he's fucking chain smoking, you just know how goddamn good he is, because imagine then what he would possibly be able to do if he gives it all up. Maybe that's what actually gives him the superpowers for now. So who knows? But fucking new mythical fighter, I'd almost say, coming out of Brazil. Another fight was Zachary Reese, which if you really think about it, it sounds like a famous motocross guy's son's name. You know, like fucking, you know, some dude who won like a fucking Travis Pastrana or something, had a kid or something. That's Zachary Reese. Anyways, as you can imagine, he's a Texan dude coming out of Houston, rocking the fucking beautiful mullet, and gets the 20-second KO. Very simple, high kick, uppercut, bam, good night. Gets the job done. And his fight name is actually Savage. So Zachary Savage Reese coming in it hot with a 20-second finish in the UFC Octagon in Louisville. And one more. This is in the main card now. Raul Rosas Jr., name that I mentioned before and name that I will keep on mentioning for presumably a long, long time, because this kid is 19 years old, man. And this 19-year-old goes against a 30-year-old who has been talking shit leading up to this fight. So think about what's relative, like a 30-year-old. 19 to 30 years old. Yeah, that's straight up like if you're in high school and there's that one substitute teacher that's a little bit younger. He gets called up and then you guys start, and then he's always putting some disrespect on your name in class, and then all of a sudden you just decide to fucking kick this guy's ass. That's pretty much what happened in this situation. And Raul Rosas Jr. still continues showing his skill. Yes, he is 19 years old. Yes, he just got in the UFC, like 4 fights now in the UFC. But, hey, man, this guy gets the submission. This guy has the skill and the technique to be going against 30-year-olds. So, and 30-year-old isn't even like old in UFC terms or MMA terms. 30 years old is arguably, that's kind of like prime-ish age. So, all respect to Raul. And we all know that this is just a wholesome kid with a lot of ambition. So shout out to that guy. And lastly, this was the news. This was the win that healed everyone and just got the whole, UFC fight night to be just a wholesome, like good vibes. Dominic Reyes, the guy who is arguably the guy who gave the only loss to John Jones' career. He's back in the win column. He's been taking L's. Things haven't been going his way. Was in the downs, but now he's in the ups of the UFC career again. And everybody loved this. Everybody wants to see this guy win. Because we still know how dangerous this guy actually is and how skillful he is actually. So Dominic Reyes with the win. We like to see that. So with that being said, UFC Fight Night in Louisville, yes, it was nice and wholesome. And this weekend we have a simple little UFC Apex Fight Night that I'm not going to dive too deep into. I think it's just one of those where we just need to build the MMA fighters record. But still, I'll tune in if I got a chance to, but it does start quite late for Apex Fight Night, so it might just be one of those where I got to take a little bit of a break, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend from watching the UFC, because, ladies and gentlemen, after this weekend, we're we're building all up to the golden goose. You know what I'm saying? The golden egg, man. Because we are going to Abu Dhabi after this weekend, where Robert Whitaker is headlining, going against Khamzat Chimaev. So the Reaper versus Borj. Just two absolute savages, intense matchup stylistically. Both can wrestle, both can strike, both put on the pace and the pressure. Okay, that's in Abu Dhabi, whatever. Like, if that's just like whatever. And going after that weekend, so almost pretty much back-to-back weekends, we get to the biggest name in mixed martial arts, the notorious Conor McGregor makes his comeback once again in the octagon in the city of the UFC, pretty much in Las Vegas, and goes against one of the most physical lightweights to ever be a lightweight, because how the hell does he make the lightweight Michael Chandler? So this is just insane. I mean, Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor is the fight of the summer. I don't care what else there is. This is the fight of the summer. This is going to be in 3 weeks' time. Oh my goodness gracious. I almost can't contain myself. Oh dear Lord. I'm going to buy myself Forged Irish Stout and Proper 12 whiskey. Both just for the... And I'm not even... Actually, I'm going to be doing my podcast on the road for that episode. So it's going to be very, very interesting. I'm not going to throw out the Bukanikan picks yet. UFC, I'm skipping the picks for this weekend because I just wanted to hit you with this, just to insert that excitement in your head that, oh my goodness gracious, it is all just like we're getting to the top of the pyramid now. And that's really just the plot of June for the UFC. And I'm not going to dive any deeper because as of right now and after last night, we got a very, very interesting championship final in the NBA. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're in the championship finals. Although, in a sense, no one would notice because they don't even put the goddamn logo in the middle of the court. So it just seems like a regular season game. But whatever. I guess that's just me complaining about the production design. Like a nerd. Anyways, Boston Celtics currently up 2-0. They're currently up 2-0. Take into consideration the game 1 and 2 have been played in Boston with the home court advantage. Mavericks haven't played Celtics in a while. They don't necessarily know what they do really well and what in a way the Celtics do well to kind of counterattack the Mavericks, right? And I was watching a bit of the game 2 last night. I didn't watch the whole thing because, I got to do this one for y'all. But Boston Celtics, they got that. Boston Celtics, they got that to catch a predator tactic, man. Which is simply catch them off guard. You got to catch them off guard. You got to think that they got the time to chill around, maybe make a move or two, maybe think about it. Nah, the Celtics, they're fast, man. They're real goddamn fast, man. I honestly think most of the time they score a basket is just because the Mavericks haven't got into their defensive positions and they're still just like a little bit out of position. And then the Celtics are like, oh, let me do this. And then it works out. Because the Mavs ain't ready. Like, it's always in transition. Look, listen. Luka is a savage. He has his own playing style, but it ain't the most athletic fucking playing style. Like, it ain't. Like, I know he still plays, like, relatively physical, but it ain't like it's not like, 2014 Russell Westbrook. It ain't that, he ain't, like, covering that much distance that fast, okay? And, Celtics, they just take advantage of this. They simply just take advantage of this. For me, I also think that other than Kristaps Porzingis, at least from the just general angle of the basketball court, all the other guys look about the same size. Like, they all look kind of freaking nimble. Like, they could just, move a lot faster. And I feel like Celtics just took advantage of that. Like, Mavs just couldn't react to it. And I mean, Luka, like, look, let's just flip it over. Because for real, Celtics are playing amazing. Like, I have to say they're playing amazing. Like, because, like, as a concept, if Jason Tatum is your best player and he ain't even doing all the work, then the system's, like, they're playing good fucking basketball then, right? As much as people, for some weird reason, still would shit on Jason Tatum, like, it's, like, nah. It's just that the team is playing real good. Like, what? Like, why would you? Yeah. Okay. Anyways. But then let's flip it on the other side. Luka, it's more like, okay, Luka's kind of carrying that. It's like Luka's the only guy who can score proper points, make the tough shots. Even if there's not a good play drawn, he can just shoot it up. It's probably going to go in. That guy's the guy who's going to cause problems. Like, as of right now, if a game gets won within the series, it's Luka who did that for the Mavs. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the Mavs win a game, it's Luka. Like, Luka's going to be a big reason, if not the biggest reason, because that's just how the Mavericks offense works. So think about that, and then the fact that Boston Celtics fans are still going like, no, fuck Kyrie. Like, y'all got, like, that's when Boston Celtics fans are actually racist as hell, because they're still focused on fucking, like, saying fuck Kyrie instead of just saying fuck Luka. Like, guys, fuck Luka. Like, I'm sure if Luka wasn't fucking Aryan as hell, then the Celtics fan would be giving him shit till no end. But guys, it's ridiculous. Like, at this point, you guys have fucked it all up, because now Luka still knows what he's doing right, and then Kyrie just knows, okay, well, when I get the support, I'm just gonna fucking, like, I'm gonna pop the fuck off. When instead of, you guys should have talked shit to Luka, and then Luka would have been fucked up, and then he would have had to, like, work so much harder to get that confidence back going back to Dallas. But now you guys focused on Kyrie, and Kyrie was still, like, he's still been cooking, but, like, very low-key cooking. Like, yeah, Kyrie hasn't scored 30 points in Game 1 or Game 2, but really, it's just, if he's still, like, cooking up, like, a good old, like, above 15 points, and the points he's scoring are still freaking nasty, right? Like, nasty. You're saying that you're going to get him to home court where then he can knock down a couple more threes. I think the Celtics fans are going to regret their trash talking tactics, honestly. In hindsight. But moving on, I mean, this is like Luka too. Like, you move it all over to Luka. The fact that he's carrying, the fact, like, and like it's not even like obviously carrying. It's just he is just doing the work. When he gets the ball, he makes a clear decision of if he can possibly go for a good assist, or if he could just, fucking make a shot. So with him wrapped up every single fucking, I'm so worried about him. He's wrapped up in all types of shit every time in between practice or warm up and then the game. I'm saying, oh my God, whenever he drives to the basket, all that, he's playing like even if he wins or loses the ring, he's gonna take a whole fucking season off, dude. Like he's gonna go fucking go somewhere, still practice a little bit, maybe just bench me for the whole next year or something. Oh my God, because I truthfully think Luka's just he's willing to die for this. Like it's simple. Like I'm not even trying to exaggerate. I'm not even trying to sound cool, but Luka's just he's just ready to die for this, just to win this championship right now. And so all respect to Luka. But what's the future looking like? We have Game 3 Wednesday night, and then we have Game 4 Friday night. And they go back to Dallas for Game 3 and Game 4. And the Pukeniken pick as of right now for this week for the Game 3 and Game 4 is that Dallas goes back to Dallas Mavericks. I definitely said that wrong. Dallas Mavericks goes back to Dallas for Game 3 and 4. And the Mavs are going to win both games. And off of that momentum and having figured out their strengths compared to the Boston's strengths, then the Mavs will have momentum on their side. But I still believe that the Boston Celtics fans and home court advantage is quite powerful. So I think then we go Game 5, Boston wins it. Yeah. I think it's going to go tied up. Mavs win one more. Boston win one more. Then Mavs win Game 7. There you go. You heard it from here first. Game 7. I don't know if I've already predicted if they're going to win in... I think I might have said Game 6, honestly, before already. But I'm going to say this one more time after further analysis, after a reanalyzation. We're going to say that the Mavericks win in Game 7. Okay? And I will say this. Kyrie's putting up, he's putting up 2 good fucking performances at least. Like, I can see Kyrie putting up 2 30-point performances. That is if the Mavs win the series. But if Mavs don't win the series, I don't think it's going to happen. But I can see Kyrie still popping off. I can see, Derek Lively or PJ Washington or even Derek Jones Jr. just doing something amazing as well, just popping off one game just to kind of step up a little bit. So we're going to put it down here as one of the Pukeniken picks. Mavs win Game 7. And then I'll put this in little brackets. Kyrie gonna drop. He's gonna drop 2. He's gonna drop 2 30-plus point games. Bam. There we go. I have faith. I think the Dallas Mavericks got what it takes. Luka is not one of these guys who go down 0-2 in away court and then doesn't capitalize when it is in his own home court. So the NBA Finals alive and kicking throughout the week. I'm excited. I'm going to be tuning in. Definitely cheering for those Dallas crowd. I'm with Texans today. I'm all Texas, baby. I'm all cowboyed up. So then we talk about what has happened. Again, the most thrilling thing that had happened last weekend, and this had happened last night in the evening. The Canadian GP, Montreal, and a whole lot of action out of an island in Montreal. With wet weather racing in a high-speed track. I mean, could you ask for anything else? Very different sectors within the circuit and a lot of different challenging turns, especially in the wet weather conditions. And honestly, up until the last maybe 5 laps or so, there was still a chance that the race leader might change. There was still a chance. I mean, there was 2 safety cars. There was DRS with inters, but then like it was wet weather, but then dry, but then possibly wet again, but then it stayed dry, but then it wasn't actually fully dry, and it was still a little bit wet. So it was intense. It was actually fucking intense, man. I mean, it sounds like a girl who's has mixed feelings about you. That's how the weather was acting up, man. She's got what you open your mouth, you're talking you say one thing, it makes her wet. You say another thing, she gets all dried up. So, yeah, that's how the Canadian GP was like. It was like a girl who has mixed feelings about you sexually. And yeah, even in the last second, you don't know what's the climax gonna be like. I didn't even write that, motherfucker. I just came up with that. Holy shit. Max Verstappen kept his composure. You know, he is at the end of the day considered one of the best wet weather drivers ever. Actually, people do say that. It's not just me. And if not ever, right now, he's one of the most skillful. But it almost like at one point, it almost didn't seem like that was the skill, because you flip it over and Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri as well in the McLaren, it seemed as though they just knew how to treat their wet weather tires way better. And there were more than one occasion where the McLaren all of a sudden just started flying around the track, and while all the other teams seemed to be struggling. But Lando Norris, on the other hand, he ended up P2. He didn't have luck on his side this time, so he wasn't able to get the win. And George Russell also qualified for pole position, set the exact time as Max Verstappen, exact time to the thousandths of the second, which is absolutely insane, just like physics-wise, that 2 cars, 2 separate brains, 2 separate machinery ended up getting the same exact time by the thousandths of the second. George Russell got the pole, and he was doing his best throughout the race. He had a few slip-ups, and it was a bit like pressure was on his side, maybe was not on his side, and just the overall circumstances. The Mercs were possibly fighting for a win as well during the whole weekend, and they were the ones with the new tires or the fresh tires at the end of the race. So George Russell could have maybe with the hard tires gotten the win, but he messed up a couple turns that ultimately cost him too much time. And Lewis Hamilton too. At the end of the day, it was he still had a lot struggling with. I listened to an interview. Lewis Hamilton himself just a little bit underwhelmed with his own performance, and that's just maybe because those hot ones wings, those sessions on the toilet just ultimately fucked it up a little bit, maybe, possibly. Anyways, yeah, so there was definitely a lot of action. Max Verstappen won, but it wasn't no guaranteed win for him throughout the weekend. The Mercedes, what we can take out of this one is the Mercedes are finally doing something. The car has finally picked up a little bit of life, and they're finally, challenging a little bit more than before. The McLarens, they're farting hard. The farting hard. Am I talking too much like Oscar Piastri nowadays? I don't know. The McLarens, they're fighting hard. They're fighting hard for podium spots. I mean, podium spots for the McLarens are pretty much, I think, at this point in the season, I think it's a pretty much guarantee that there's a McLaren podium. Or at this point, there's the race win. At the start of the season, it might have been like, maybe if they do well, okay, they could fight for a podium spot. Now they're at a point where podium spot, yeah, that's the base. But if we set a proper target, proper goal to push ourselves, it's that win, baby. It's that P1. So with that being said, I'm still saying, I'm going to write this every episode just so it manifests itself. Oscar Piastri is going to win. It's coming. It's Oscar Piastri win in 2024 season. That's a guaranteed. I mean, I'm not even kidding. It's not going to be easy, but it's a guarantee because Oscar Piastri, at the end of the day, he's a savage, as much of a savage as Lando Norris is. And, race winner, it's Max Verstappen, man. It's Max Verstappen. I called it last week. I knew some crazy shit was going to happen, but I said ultimately Max Verstappen is going to win. He is the fucking GOAT nowadays anyways. So if you're thinking that this guy, Red Bull has lost their touch, Max Verstappen lost it, don't even try to think about that because this guy's always going to be there. Especially when he didn't win 2 times in a row. Even that fires him up enough where he's going to do everything in his power to get that win. The Red Bull car in itself is obviously not as dominant, but I still think Red Bull has what it takes, at least with Max Verstappen, to be scoring points. Now we flip it over on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, Ballin at what cost from the get-go has been always about spreading a positive message, spreading a positive, environment, no negativity, no defamation of character, none of that, because we don't want to get sued in the future, of course, but also because that's what it's all about. These athletes sacrifice a lot, and at the end of the day, we never know the real story, and we can never ourselves be in their shoes. With that being said, Sergio Perez. Bro, come on, dude. Bro, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Just give us a little something, man. Your homie up there fighting himself, man. He's fighting for his life and shit. Now with the McLarens and Ferraris and hey, let's not. I'm skipping out on Ferrari. at least for this past weekend. Let's not talk about it. Let's just say Ferrari threw their chances. I think Ferrari's going to end up P3 now in the Constructors Championships. Possibly. I think it could happen. Let me actually check because I got the driver standing right now. I don't have the constructors standings. Yeah, McLaren are like 40 points behind. I don't know, dude. Norris, I'd say right now on paper, Norris and Piastri are faster than Leclerc and Sainz. I just don't. Oh my god. Because it's like, look, listen. No, nothing's going well, guys. Nothing's going well with like first of all, okay. So Sergio Perez gets the contract extension. He gets the contract extension with Red Bull. Right. So he's going to be alongside Max Verstappen still. He got it this week, like the past weekend. So the weekend that he gets a contract extension, this guy can't get out of Q1. And then in the race, he crashes into the wall. Okay. Charles Leclerc. They were in Monaco. This guy finally gets the pole and converts the pole into a win in his hometown, which was a historical achievement, which was he put on his YouTube channel a day that I'll remember for the rest of my life. And then this guy has a engine problem that they try to like cope with for most of the race until they put on the wrong tires until he fucking just retires. If Formula 1 karma like is a real thing, the karma just came into full extent. The karma is real in Formula 1, guys. I don't know what to say. Thankfully, this isn't karma that I've caused. Actually, this is like the one that I'm safe with. Whew. But personally, I'm almost a little flabbergasted right now at the state of F1. Also, it's like we got a cool race. Yeah, but then these athletes also at the same time. Oh, damn. Like that's rough. That's real rough. So it's been a very plus-minus weekend at the end of the day in Canada. We're going to take a break from F1 this weekend, and then that weekend after that we'll be in Spain, and I'll talk to you guys about that later. But what else, man? There's a bunch of stuff going on. Last week, I was once again watching some good old gridiron football in the sun, and Helsinki Roosters, well, they went against the other hometown team, the Helsinki Wolverines, and 63-0 win for the Helsinki Roosters. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Hey, they not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Honestly, nothing more to say about that one. I mean, just pure dominance. I mean, just a one-sided game. But now they go into the away games. So unfortunately, I won't be watching those at least live in the stadium. I'll be watching them live on the telly for sure and be cheering them on. They do have arguably the toughest matchups now coming in the away games. And then in July, they'll be back once again for the home games, and the vibes will be back, and I'll be there cheering them on. So with that being said, and they not like us. They not like us. One more thing. WNBA. They not like her. They not like her. They not like her. What's going on with this Caitlin Clark thing, man? What's going on? Caitlin Clark comes into the WNBA league. And she's the reason why we're watching WNBA right now. She's the reason. She is the reason why we're watching it. Okay? For me, personally, I have a little bit of percentages on Cameron Brink as well, just because she's a very beautiful and sophisticated and talented lady. However, Caitlin Clark is the savage that we all needed in the WNBA. She scored her first 30-point game in the WNBA last week, and slowly picking up the pace for the Indiana Fevers. And while she is pretty much the first real face of the WNBA that at least everyone knows, I follow sports intensely, but when I talk to my homies that don't even follow sports that much, I'd say Caitlin Clark, they know who I'm talking about. Okay, so then this phenomenon, this sensational athlete, right, that has done nothing else. She has done nothing else but just play basketball, the job in which she's supposed to do. And she really enjoys her job playing basketball. And she just so happens to be the best to be playing basketball as a female, as a woman, as a lady. She doesn't get picked into the women's basketball team for the Olympics this summer. What? 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 What are we doing? What are we doing, guys? No, because I know people are gonna say it's like a race thing. Dude, this is like the female this is that, it's women shit. Only when it's like a woman, if she's not if she's just doing her work and she's doing what she's supposed to do and just putting the effort in that, only when she's a fucking woman is that gonna bite her up the ass. Seriously. But then if you're a dumbass and then you take a drug into a fucking country where it's illegal and then you get put in the prison, that's when you're fucking awarded. It ain't even, I don't even think it's a race. It's, and you wonder why in society OnlyFans chicks are, so successful. It's because when a chick is just, doing, it blows my mind, guys. Caitlin Clark is a fucking sensation, all right? And she's a sensation because she plays basketball. Right? The media will be forever trying to search for her to do something bad, which is so shit. Right? And then this whole time you want Caitlin Clark to fucking, pop off and shit. It's fucking I'm actually so mad right now. I don't even know what kind of point I'm making. Because I feel like Caitlin Clark is such a fucking professional that it's somehow because of the media and how society is, it's fucking somehow damaged her. Like, she's deep breaths. Because I think like the way people are treating her is just like you're almost trying. You're just trying to dig up dirt. People are just waiting for her to fucking slip up. It's ridiculous. There's nothing going like, okay, let's do everything in our power to make sure she has the support to become like a fucking global superstar. No, it's let's do everything in our power to fucking try to take this chick. And then you know what? At the end of the day, she is a purebred competitor where that's only gonna bite you up the ass. The women's basketball team, the U.S. women's basketball team, it's only gonna bite you up the ass. You guys ain't winning shit this year. I'm sorry to fucking say that. I'm being negative now, but y'all ain't winning shit without Caitlin Clark on the fucking court, right? And then within the WNBA, fucking you guys better protect her. You guys better fucking support her, because there has been instances where an athlete, no matter how talented they are and how skillful they are, they've dipped out of the sport because of the media. They've dipped out of the sport because of all the other stuff other than the fucking sport itself. You keep on doing this, she's just going to say, fuck this, I'm going to do like a fucking sports talk show host with Pat McAfee. And I'll get more money off of that than you fucking disrespectful cunts. Honestly. God damn, man. Fucking. How dare anyone fucking disrespect Caitlin like that? Jesus. Okay, with that being said, shout out women. With that being said, fuck the patriarchy. With that being said, guys, I know I got a little bit fired up there. I'm just saying, I think this whole perspective towards Caitlin Clark is just bad, because like you're almost like pushing her to a point where she is gonna like just get frustrated, and then she's gonna let something out, and then that's the one thing, and then all of a sudden, instead of her being the great athlete she is, everyone's just gonna be like, oh, but she's a fucking blah 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 blah, whatever there is to say that's negative about her. So just, like, I can't. What's the fucking point of this? Respect women. Jesus Christ, man. Women respect women. Please, for the love of God, respect each other. It's already fucking hard enough that you're trying to convince guys to respect you because we're just such pieces of shit, right? But like, at least, oh my God, right? It's, like, even guys, yeah, Jokic is like, they're always saying, yeah, that guy's a great player, that guy's phenomenal, this guy's phenomenal. Jesus Christ. But with that being said, I'm the biggest Celtics fan on earth, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, these are my picks. I'm gonna say fucking, I almost want to write something down for Caitlin Clark here. There, it's been written. Caitlin Clark is the female GOAT. She is just class, and somehow no one understands that. And that's a perfect representation of what it's like when a woman finds success in this society. Yeah. So, Caitlin Clark, shout out to you. Oscar Piastri, shout out to you. Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie, Luka, shout out to y'all. Helsinki Roosters, shout out to y'all. Max Verstappen, lastly, Max Verstappen, shout out to you because I picked you to win last week. You did it, so fucking shout out to you. And truthfully, it's week 24 of summer 2024. And yeah, we're building it all up. I'll try to catch you guys next week to build up the proper stuff. And there's more and more and more to be analyzing. And yeah, thank you all. See you later. I'll catch you guys next week.